What's up guys, SeeJayAre here today with the first episode of the Game Boy quest. At least that's what I think I'm calling it. The title may say something different.
Team Canada.
This video series is just going to chronicle me picking up games for the original Game Boy. I'm going to try and go for a complete Game Boy set. I've mentioned before that ever since I started doing the Game Boy DMG backlight mods with the Bivert chip, I'll post a video here where I showed off all the Game Boy mods that I do. It's really kind of rejuvenated my love for the original Game Boy, the big brick. You can see I have mine. Actually, I have mine right here. So it looks absolutely fantastic. It won't translate super well over the screen there, over the camera. Doesn't record the backlight very well, but it makes the Game Boy. It's like a game. It's a game changer. It really is. So I've been playing the crap out of my original Game Boy games, and I decided that I wanted more, not just for the collection aspect, but to actually play. And I feel like a good percentage of these games at least have some redeeming qualities. There's very few games that I'm coming across that aren't at least worth trying or playing for a few minutes. My point is, I feel like there's not a whole lot of complete garbage on the system, that there are some redeeming qualities for almost every game. So I picked up a huge stack at the last swap. I wanted to focus on some of the better titles that I picked up in this video, and I want a little bit more time to play them. So these are the ones that I've had a chance to play through a little bit, so I can at least speak on the quality of them. So I'm going to start with a pretty common game here. This is Solar Striker. It's an early shoot 'em up for the Game Boy. One of the better shoot 'em ups I'm looking for is Nemesis, and I saw it at the recent show, but it was like, I think, 20 bucks. I didn't want to pay quite that much. And Nemesis, I think, is like Gradius, basically. This is Solar Striker. It's a very bare bones shoot 'em up. I believe from the reviews I saw, you can actually beat it in like 20 minutes. But it is fun. It's very simple, not super hard, but it's definitely challenging. These are the type of games that you can throw into the Game Boy and play for 5 minutes and have a great time. So I would recommend it for sure. I think I paid $4 for that one. It's got 6 listed on it, but you can find this for around $5, no problem. So first pickup is Solar Striker. Next up here at the last swap, I picked up a copy of Ducktails for 15. I actually got it for 10. The guy actually hooked me up pretty well. I think he knew who I was. Sometimes at these shows, people know who I am, but they won't say anything. I'm pretty sure he hooked me up. So being who I am sometimes at these swaps actually helps out. People at least know that I'm not buying this stuff to resell. It's going to be in my collection and I'm going to play it. So it does help out with getting deals sometimes, if they like me. If they don't like me, then I don't get a deal. So DuckTales. I've played, I don't know, probably about an hour. I can't really speak on the similarities or differences between this one and the NES version, but it's the same mechanic. You're hopping around on the cane, so it's very similar. I want to say it's not super difficult, but it's definitely still challenging. It's a great little pocket version. I always feel like the characters in these Game Boy games are almost like little kind of like chibi characters, like they're little shorter and chubbier versions of the NES counterparts, and I love that art style. Kind of like Mighty Final Fight, like those little kind of short, stubby, chibi characters. I don't know if that's the right term, but that's how I feel this game is. Anyways, it's definitely worth it. I think it goes for like 20-ish, usually 15, 20, so picked it up for 10. I was pretty happy with that. And it's one that I've been wanting to try for a long time. These two guys I paid a little more for. The first one here I had to have Burger Time. So I played quite a bit of this. Burger Time is actually one of my favorite NES games. It's like the NES game, but again, it's just kind of compressed to fit on the screen. It almost feels like the counterpart to Donkey Kong Classic a little bit. They've done some things on this game to better suit the small little square screen. much like the Donkey Kong did, Donkey Kong 94. So there are some similarities there. I think I may actually enjoy the Game Boy version better than the NES version, so this is a pleasant surprise. I absolutely love Burger Time on the NES, so I was really happy that the Game Boy one was just as good or better. I think I paid 10 for that one. Mickey Mouse Magic Wands. This one, the jury's kind of still out. It's a platformer, but not your typical platformer. You're using your wand to change or to collect these diamond things. It's kind of more like a puzzle platformer. It seems okay. I got to put more time in with this one. I'm not sure if I really like this one all that much. Like I said, I need more time. That's Mickey Mouse Magic Wands. Yeah, $10 I paid for that one too. This stack here, 5 games, I paid $30, so it averaged out to $6 each. There's some better titles in here. I'm pretty happy with what I paid for this stack. The first one that I have no experience with whatsoever, I didn't get a chance to play this one. This is Ultima. Ultima Runes of Virtue. I'm gonna hope it's like a dungeon crawler. I know Ultima are RPGs. I just don't know which type of RPG it will be. Hopefully it's at least decent. I didn't get a chance to play this one yet, like I said. I'll wait till that loads. But also in this bundle that I picked up, Quark. I love puzzle games, and thankfully the Game Boy, the early years of the Game Boy were dominated by puzzle games. Quark is a puzzle game where you're pushing doors and levers to get to the other exit, to get to the exit on the other side. So you're moving levers and doors. If you move it a certain way, it'll close off another way, so you have to go back, flip it open, and then try and, if this makes sense, I'll try and post some gameplay here. Yeah, so Ultima looks like it's got a top-down overworld, and then I believe it's got dungeons. It almost actually plays like Gauntlet right now. So yeah, I gotta put some time into this one. That might be like hidden gem in the bunch. So yeah, Quark, really enjoy that one. That one was like $5. Hyper Loadrunner, unfortunately, is a pretty bad version of Loadrunner. I really enjoy Loadrunner on the NES and N64, but this one, not so good. But for $5, not bad at all. This is A Boy and His Blob, Rescue of Princess Blobette. Didn't even know this existed until I found it the other day. It's A Boy and His Blob. I'm not a huge fan of Boy and His Blob on the NES, but this does seem like a pretty good translation to the Game Boy. So if you like the NES one, you're probably gonna like this guy. Next up is Milton's Secret Castle. Again, a pretty faithful version of the game, very similar to the NES game. Again, condensed to fit the little Game Boy screen. So yeah, I paid $10. Which one was 10? It was 10 for Milton's Secret Castle and 5 for the rest. So it averaged out to $6 a piece. With the cases, that's pretty happy with that. So, anyways, guys, that is my pickups for the first Game Boy Quest video. I'm gonna have a list posted in the description below of games that I'm still looking for. It's a ton of games. If you got anything laying around that you are willing to sell or trade, I'd rather just buy them. We have issues with shipping here in Canada, so sometimes I'll trade for something and I'll pay the shipping and it won't even be worth the trade anymore because I've had to pay so much for shipping. So the nice thing about Game Boy games is they're super small and light and easy to ship. So just contact me. The best way to get a hold of me is probably through Facebook. The links are in the description below, but you can message me on YouTube, Instagram, if you've got anything that you're willing to get rid of. I'm looking for a lot of filler right now, so and then obviously I'm looking for the expensive games, Spud's Adventure, stuff like that. Let me know if you have any of those games. And thank you for watching the first Game Boy Quest episode. Until the next episode.